Welcome to Instablogs Global Report. This is Sukhmani with fresh updates and more citizen voices from all over the world. Stories for the day are: alarming levels of economic disparity in major US cities, Obama fever grips Kenya, illegal horse fighting maiming horses in Philippines, and suicide bomb attacks by LTTE rise in Sri Lanka. According to a UN report, major US cities including New York, Washington, Atlanta and New Orleans have levels of economic inequality that rival cities in Africa. It also states that though the cities in USA have relatively lower levels of poverty, their levels of income inequality are quite high. CJ Prince Campbell identifies the reason behind rising income disparity in US cities.
This is Prince Campbell, citizen journalist reporting from the US on Instablogs. The futile pursuit of the American dream, if I can put it that way. The UN Habitat Report has said that while the USA has less poverty than many cities in the developed world, inequality is high, rising above the international alert line. Levels of economic disparity in major US cities, including New York and Washington, D.C., are comparable to those of African cities. The problem lies in the fact that America tends to forget the near poor, who are above the poverty line but well below the middle class all the time. They're earning too much money to qualify for most of the benefits that we provide the real poor, but they do not earn enough to be completely secure. And as a result, they're very vulnerable in an economy like this.
As the US presidential elections near, Obama mania seems to be tightening its grip over Kenyans in western Kenya's lakeside town of Kisumu, to which his father's family hails. CJ Rose Wangui has more on the popularity of the latest Kenyan hero.
This is Rose Wangui, a citizen journalist from Kenya, reporting on Instablogs. With Obama leading in the polls in the closing day of the United States presidential race, his name is featured daily on talk shows and in newspaper columns in Kenya. In Kisumu, the lakeside town in western Kenya, which his father's family hails, seemingly every resident brags of being an Obama cousin. And even the Senator beer, a local brew, has been popularly renamed Obama. Kenya in the recent years celebrated world champions in distance running and the 2004 Nobel Peace Prize winner, environmentalist Wangari Maathai. But no Kenyan hero has been as universally admired or as omnipresent as Obama, whose most recent visit in 2006 drew adoring crowds. Posters of a smiling Obama adorn the backs of Nairobi's psychosedly colored minibus, taxis known as matatus, and radios blare songs praising him as a homeboy who would lead the world's most powerful nation.
Illegal horse fighting is crippling and maiming thousands of horses in Philippines. The horse fighting season, which runs throughout the year, is carried out in full acknowledgement of local authorities. CJ Grace Calderon talks about illegal horse fighting from Philippines.
This is Grace Calderon reporting for Instablogs from the Philippines. Illegal horse fighting in the Philippines apparently cripples and maims thousands of horses every year. The brutal and bloody contests are continuing on the island of Mindanao, allegedly with the help of both local police and government officials. Crazed stallions kick, bite, and stomp each other into submission, while a screaming crowd of locals cheer on the spectacle. A helpless mare is tethered in the ring throughout the fight in order to enrage the jealous stallions. The animals were trained to fight by their handlers, who manipulate the fights to take out the big prizes on offer. The horse fighting season runs all year round in the Philippines, with crime syndicates reportedly raking in the profits from illegal gambling on the fights. Horse fighting was banned in the Philippines 10 years ago, but this event is said to be run with the full knowledge and open involvement of the local police. The government should do something to stop this brutality against animals.
There has been a marked rise in the incidence of suicide bombings carried out by LTTE's female suicide bombers ever since the Sri Lankan government launched its offensive. CJ Vignesh reflects upon the reasons behind the making of female suicide bombers in Sri Lanka.
This is Vignesh, citizen journalist from Sri Lanka, reporting on Instablogs. Suicide bombings are not new in this part of the world, but growing number of women suicide bombers is for sure. The growing number of women suicide bombers in LTT outfit is really a cause for concern. It is very difficult to understand what goes in the minds of these women, but LTT has definitely recognized the power of women for its suicide missions because they are less conspicuous and can easily blend into a crowd. To me, it appears that Sri Lankan women are not choosing it deliberately but by circumstances. Most of the suicide bombers come from northern province, which is LTTE's stronghold. It is clear that LTT is forcing these women to become suicide bombers, but this gruesome exploitation is showing the obvious hypocrisy of the LTTE's philosophy.
If you want your voice to be heard by millions, let Instablogs be your choice. You can contact us at cj@instablogs.com. That's all for today's show. We'll be back with fresh updates and more citizen voices. Till then, it's goodbye from the entire team of Global Report.